Okay, let's be real. There's just no escaping it. 2026 is the year of AI. I mean, we're seeing this massive wave of spending and excitement from pretty much everyone. But if you look just beyond the headlines, a much more complicated, almost contradictory picture starts to form. So let's dive in and try to separate the hype from what's actually happening on the ground.
And this quote from the World Economic Forum just nails it. They suggest that after a whole year of intense hype, we're now heading into a period of, well, an AI reckoning. It's that reality check moment where all the big promises start bumping up against the friction and the real-world risks.
So what does this reckoning actually look like? Well, for starters, it's full of surprises and problems nobody really saw coming. We're seeing these paradoxes where the results are the total opposite of what you'd expect. And we're also dealing with a brand new problem, the sheer volume of low-quality AI output, which people have started calling AI slop.
Okay, let's kick things off with this productivity paradox. You'd think that plugging in some super powerful AI tool would make everything faster overnight, right? But what's fascinating is that research from places like MIT Sloan shows the exact opposite often happens. A lot of companies actually see their performance dip at first because they're struggling to cram these new digital tools into their old ways of doing things.
And that struggle leads directly to this problem that workers are calling work slop. See, instead of getting a perfect, finished product from the AI, what you often get is a messy first draft. It's just mediocre or even full of mistakes. This means a person has to come in and spend a ton of time editing, fact-checking, and basically cleaning up the mess, which, ironically, can create more work than it was supposed to save in the first place. And the scale of this whole work slop thing, it is absolutely staggering. The internet is literally being flooded with AI content. We're talking about a point where AI articles might already outnumber the ones written by actual people. And this isn't just about a few boring articles. It's creating a real crisis of trust. It's getting harder and harder to tell what's real information versus what's just part of this huge sea of AI-generated noise.
But the issues go way beyond just messy content. As we push for AI to be more and more powerful, we are stepping into what you could call the autonomy danger zone. We're shifting from AI as just a tool to AI as an autonomous agent, something that can act on its own. And that brings a completely new level of risk to the table.
So what's an AI agent exactly? The key difference here is that it's not just sitting there waiting for your prompts anymore. You can give it a high-level goal, and it can figure out a plan and then go and execute that plan, all on its own, without a human needing to approve every single little step. This is a huge leap towards systems that can act independently out in the world.
And it's really important to get this. Autonomy isn't just an on or off switch, it's a spectrum. We start with simple AI where a person is totally in control, but as we move up these levels, we start handing over more and more control to the system. First it decides when to do something, then how to do it, until eventually we hit full autonomy, where the system itself is making all the key decisions.
And here's the kicker. The research shows a direct and, honestly, pretty alarming connection. The more control we hand over to an AI agent, the more the risks just multiply. We're talking about a much higher chance of safety failures, security breaches, you name it. Giving up human control isn't just a technical decision. It's a choice that has some very serious, very real consequences. So, with all these risks, it's pretty obvious we can't just let these systems run wild. The answer isn't to ditch the technology, but to put the most critical piece of the puzzle right back in the center, us. This is where having meaningful human supervision becomes totally non-negotiable.
And believe me, this isn't just a theoretical problem. These are real-world horror stories. There was an AI recruiting tool that, because it was trained on old hiring data, basically taught itself to discriminate against women. Or the government algorithm that was supposed to standardize student grades but ended up unfairly punishing kids from poorer schools. These examples show just how badly things can go when you take human judgment out of the equation.
And it seems the business world is learning this lesson the hard way. A whopping 79% of companies that tried to completely replace human jobs with AI had to go back and undo it. And why? Because the technology just wasn't good enough to operate without human expertise to guide it, to correct it, and to give it that crucial context it was missing. But here's the thing. Just having a human in the loop isn't a magic fix. We all have to be really careful about a psychological trap called automation bias. It's our natural instinct to just trust the computer, to assume it's right. We tend to over-rely on what automated systems tell us, which means a human reviewer might just rubber stamp a terrible AI decision without even thinking twice. So to make this whole human supervision thing actually work, we have to see that it has two different but equally important sides.
On one side, you've got control. Think of this as being proactive, stepping in real time to stop failures before they even happen. Then on the other side, you have oversight. That's reactive, looking at what happened after the fact to find problems and learn from them. You absolutely need both.
And all of this brings us to what might be the most important point of all. In this new age of AI, the thing that's going to set us apart, the ultimate differentiator, isn't going to be the algorithm. It's going to be us. The future isn't about AI replacing people. It's about amplifying what makes us uniquely human.
This quote from Marie Myers at HPE just says it all, doesn't it? The goal of AI should be to act as a powerful partner that enhances our own judgment, our intuition, and our ability to reason, not to take its place. It has to be about partnership, not replacement.
And the data completely backs this up. The World Economic Forum found something kind of ironic. As AI gets more and more common, the most valuable skills are becoming more, well, human. We're talking about things like critical thinking, being resilient, leadership, influencing others. These are all the skills that AI really struggles with, and they're becoming more precious than ever.
So for any leaders out there, the path forward isn't about putting technology first. It's about putting people first. Start small with a pilot project. Make sure you clearly communicate why you're using AI. Build in those human checkpoints. And invest in training your people. Most importantly, build a culture where it's okay to experiment, to fail, and to learn from those failures.
At the end of the day, AI is an amplifier, a massive one. It's going to make our work more efficient, more powerful, and more impactful. But that leaves us with the biggest question of all. It's not about what the technology can do, but about what we, as humans, choose to do with it. So, what will we choose to amplify?